remnants of Ian continue to devastate the Southeast.
The videos and the photographs don't do the devastation any justice down there.
It looks like a bomb exploded down there, frankly.
We've been through Irma. We've been through Wilma on the East Coast 15 years ago. This was something I've never seen in my life.
I need you to get up in there, and I'm going to hand her to you, and you got to hold her because we have another dog.
I just told myself I feel like I was just sitting for him before I don't know what else to do.
All you can do is pray and hope for a better day tomorrow.
A shelter-in-place warning issued early this morning in Florida after a possible levee breach with the potential to unleash 15-foot floodwaters into areas already devastated by Hurricane Ian.
That warning sent around 3 a.m. to residents in eastern Sarasota County, one of the hardest hit areas by the storm, when it made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane earlier this week. Search and rescue efforts are still underway as 30 people have been confirmed dead, 27 deaths alone in Florida. More than 1 million people in Florida are still without power this morning.
Ian making its third and final landfall in South Carolina yesterday, battering the east from the Atlantic side as a hurricane before surging inland as a post-tropical cyclone. Waves forcing the piers at Pawleys Island off its legs and collapsing into the water. The death toll from Ian is still expected to climb.
We have team coverage on the very latest with Chief Meteorologist Rick Reichmuth standing by. But first, we go to Alexandria Hoff in Fort Myers, Florida. Alexandria, good morning.
Well, good morning to you. Yeah, we are at an emergency staging site here in Lee County, where the county is still about 75% without power right now. In about an hour, the National Guard is going to transform this larger location into a distribution site for food and water. And to put into perspective, we are in the mainland area of Fort Myers, where destruction is still widespread. We did a survey yesterday where we went out, boats into homes, homes taken off their pilings, cars that are just obliterated, gone for people. So getting to a location like this still difficult. But this mainland, it does pale in many ways in comparison to what we see on Fort Myers Beach. You can see from overhead the destruction, almost all of it wiped out by Ian's wrath. And we are told that the initial more sporadic search for survivors in the rubble, they become more methodical and will continue today. Further in the Gulf, Sanibel Island, now that still remains inaccessible as the causeway leading there was wiped away. We've watched military helicopters, rescue helicopters fly in and out of that area, and the mayor of the beloved community made this comparison.
I can tell you that one of our public works people that's one of the first responders out there, he said that he was at Hurricane Katrina for 6 months, and this is much worse. Honestly, it is very fair to say, and we know, and we are informing the residents, this is a long-term recovery process, and this is not a place that is habitable at this time. Wow. And likely won't be for a while.
And now concerns north of where we are, reminiscent of Katrina as well. Residents in eastern Sarasota County reportedly receiving that text message just about 3 hours ago of a potential levee break that could bring 15 feet of floodwater from the Mayaka Valley into that area. That automated text from the county warned residents to shelter in place if it's safe to do so at this time. But remember, there's still a lot of people without power. And here in Lee County, without water, an issue that Governor DeSantis brought up yesterday is that there was a major water main break, and that caused the issue of people being able to obtain safe drinking water. So in just about an hour, the National Guard is going to be opening up this site. When we were here yesterday, the line was going down the highway, people hoping to get just basic supplies. There was a man we met with yesterday here in Fort Myers. He was really having a tough time after surviving rising floodwaters. A volunteer came in from Miami, dropped off some goods, some food. He started eating it right away. He said he was hungry at that point, that he had survived this ordeal and was still trying to make sense of it. Well, Rachel, Pete.
Alexandria, thank you. You stay safe out there. Chief Meteorologist Rick Reichmuth is tracking the storm for us. Rick, what do you have?
Amazing what you just said, trying to make sense of it, which I think is kind of what happens after a storm like this. You can't really make sense. Even where you are, you don't understand where the roads are. Everything that you've ever recognized in a place is completely gone, and that's quite amazing. Take a look at this map right here. So Fort Myers is where we saw that storm surge, the south side of this storm. But the north side of the storm is where we saw all of this incredibly heavy rain, and that was the case on the west coast of Florida as well as on the east coast of Florida. In fact, we had rainfall totals right in Daytona Beach at around 24 inches. And then just to the north here of Port Charlotte, right there, and that's where the Mayaca River is, that we're concerned about this levee that could possibly break. That did happen in 2003 in the exact same area. It's largely an agricultural area, so not largely populated, which would be one good piece of this, and definitely different from the levee break that we saw in Katrina that flooded New Orleans. So not a huge population area. All right, here's where we're looking at the storm right now. It's kind of broken into two different pieces. One piece is a kind of a separate little storm that's developing here off the coast, bringing a lot of rain towards the mid-Atlantic and towards the Delmarva and towards Long Island. And a second piece of that that's back here across parts of West Virginia. I want to put this forward throughout the day today. We're going to see this continue here, the west side of this, and then this east side, we're going to see it spread in throughout parts of southern New England. So all of this moisture from Hurricane Ian, what was Hurricane Ian, now just a storm that's bringing continued rain and continued flooding for a lot of people in the mid-Atlantic and parts of the Northeast. Guys?
Rick, when do you expect all of this to be over, like this whole weather, problem to be over, things to pass so people could really get down to rebuilding?
Yeah, well, this piece of it will be gone largely by tomorrow, although some of this second side of this that I've talked about is going to linger even into the day on Monday. So we're not out of kind of bad weather parts of the Northeast, but Florida, weather-wise, you're looking good. So all of the search and recovery efforts that are going on, at least weather-wise, is cooperating for them right now.
All right, Rick,
Good to
thank
know.
you so much.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
Speaking of rebuilding and relief, here's some news for you. The Fox Corporation has donated $1 million to the American Red Cross hurricane relief efforts. That's to provide aid and resources like shelter, meals, medical supplies, and more to those impacted.
And Fox is also double matching employee donations to the Red Cross hurricane relief efforts, including Ian and Fiona.
Our thoughts are with everyone affected by the storm, including our own teams in Tampa and Orlando. And we want to thank everyone at the Fox Weather, Fox News Channel, and Fox TV station teams across the country who have been covering this disaster, including still this morning. If you'd like to join in Fox's effort, please visit redcross.org/Fox Forward. You see it at the bottom of your screen.